He invites you. There we go. He's not going live, is he?
Yeah.
I would like
There.
DMs.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
What's good?
how's it going, brother?
Really well, Nick.
Nice. Hey, Gary, this is Div. He's our data scientist.
What's good, bro?
Huge fan, man.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you again for your time. This is a huge opportunity, and I appreciate it.
It was really nice running into you in Indy and spending that time, and I'm excited to chop it up.
Yeah. Let's get right to it. So, just to give you like another brief overview of deliverin, what we do is with Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, we make those platforms safe and more convenient for the buyers and sellers, because with every single transaction that happens on these platforms, like the buyers
I'm
and
aware.
yeah, they run into so many different like dangers and potential risks, like meeting people in person, exchanging cash and everything. So what we're doing is replacing that in-person meetup from Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist with an in-app live video chat where they can further inspect the item, ask questions, they can pay for the item, and the item and the delivery, and the funds are held in temporary escrow, and then have drivers similar to Uber and Lyft pick up the item and deliver it.
Totally understand.
We also make it so that you don't have to give out any of your personal information, like your cell phone number, your email address, your physical address. Everything is connected through your username. So, and you just make that whenever you're signing up. And with safety, like we want to make sure that we're the safest delivery platform out there. We're also building out a panic button, but it's separate from like our delivery. We're integrating it into our platform where it triggers a live audio video recorded communication platform between so that it's a lot safer and more convenient, even for those individuals who aren't using delivery, to actually have the items delivered. Still safe whenever they're meeting someone in person.
I totally get it.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
like like we've had some meetings with Facebook and with Let Go and some other platforms out there. We are in a state like in our early stages, but we're still like we have a huge potential, like growth potential ahead of us, because not that many platforms are doing like what we're doing. Like there's some delivery systems that are out there doing last mile deliveries, but they're not actually going above and beyond like how we are when it comes to safety, security, and also the niche market of Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. What are your overall like thoughts around deliverin?
When I hear that pitch, there's two things that go through my mind. One, I believe that there's value in the thesis, and the only vulnerability is it a feature that Facebook adds on, or is it a standalone business? You know, if I've got my DC hat on, you know, I've lost enough and I've watched people lose enough when their business is a feature if they don't go cross-platform enough. So the biggest thing I go through is you're built properly for Facebook Marketplace, more so than maybe Craigslist at some level as well, but compared to Let Go and Poshmark and Macari and eBay, those are more delivered through a FedEx infrastructure. The reality is last mile infrastructure, from ordering a root beer to converting on a flip that you're doing locally within a 45-minute, 1 hour radius, is so black and white obvious.
Yeah.
The thing that you need to do is, you know, build on a couple things that come natural to you. So like the only reason I'm here is, you know, when I'm in Indy in a bar at the NFL Combine, I meet 1,000 people, but you had the charisma and just the vibe that made me pay attention, and here we are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So to me, you need to keep doubling down on your personality skills and networking. You've had meaningful meetings with real companies already. That's one. Two is the continuation of building of the brand, which you've been very, very natively doing. It's why I'm on here right now. It's why you asked for this. This is brand building.
Yeah.
Three, I would definitely try to make sure you're as meaningful to Craigslist as you are to Facebook. Anything that something like you can do to not be one-dimensional is important, because if that macro platform builds it into their app, you become quote unquote vulnerable. I mean, like, you know, Snapchat would be TikTok if Instagram didn't add stories, right? So you're always worried about that, and should be.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like anything else. It's just building, you know. Rip Cards is in here right now. A kid, I see him in the chat. Kid that hustles sports cards, real player. Like him being able to, you know, let's use Rips in here, and you guys. Literally, I bought something off of eBay this weekend that the kid's in Brooklyn, and we're like now talking, and he's like, come through, and I'm like, you know, I'm busy and like but I don't want to wait 3 days on FedEx or pay like interstate taxes or get a better deal. So like, there's a million things like that. There's a lot of people that see things on Craigslist, but they don't want to drive 45 minutes. They don't have the truck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a million things like that. You know, you keep harping on safety, which a very important group of people are always going to care. There's so many people, the elderly, women, minorities, or just people in general that are just scared, you know, because of the way culture and society lives. That's going to be a big, like, there's a lot of things you can play on. The biggest thing I think is this will happen. It's 8 out of 10 likely that the platform does it. Mm-hmm. And what you need to do is be the thing that the platform buys, or be across enough things that you have the leverage.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been going after some more like IP around our technology.
You'll never win that game. No matter how brilliant your team is, you're not going to win that game against Facebook. They're going to put one team on it, and in a week, you know that. Like that is not the win. The win is brand.
Yeah.
You as human beings, because talent matters.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook and, you know, has deep pockets.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't need to buy Mixer last week. They could have built it, right? Mm-hmm. So what you want to do is be the most valuable you can for them for a million reasons. Like, you know, like shit, take your moment. Diversity and inclusion right now, like, you know, being a black leader matters. Fucking don't apologize. There's a lot of things that suck about being a black individual in America. Take advantage of this business moment where people are going to look to acquire, hire. That's real talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real fucking talk. Like, I'm trying to help you right now. That's real, and I want you to win.
Yeah, yeah. I know you believed in me since the very first last year.
Because I'm approached by tens of thousands of people a year in public places, and I love them all because I love people, and I'm sure you could, you know, I hope you appreciated that when everybody's pulling at me, we had a 17-minute conversation.
Yeah.
I like people. I like listening. It's a space I like. You know, I'm about that flip life. So that's always going to add an extra 5 minutes. But I liked you, and I think you can win. And whether this is the business or not, you know, I do think a lot about the human. And so, to be frank, I think you're going to win. And I think this is where you and your team, obviously your partner in crime there and others, are focused on right now. It's a winnable game if the platforms decide it's a feature they don't want to go. I mean, look, when Postmates comes, everyone can say, well, their own company can deliver themselves. They got big enough that it worked. They were across enough platforms. They had the scale. They had the customer. Then they had the leverage. You need to have the customer. For example, maybe one of the things that you play hard on is in your local area, you do go hard in the sports card thing because you obviously know that's happening. Like, you know, so it's just about leverage on the consumer side. Whoever's the customer wins. And for Postmates, they had the customer, which let them win. At first, they didn't. for you, it costs a lot of money and a lot of great skill to win the customer.
Yeah.
Then the other thing you have is you two as individual talents and whoever else is on the team, and just the fucking grind, right? Like, you know, again, people look at the end result. Like, people didn't look at my 7 years, 17 hours a day in a liquor store, building the skills and the knowledge that leads to today. And you guys are in that early part.
Yeah, and especially with the pandemic going on since Uber and Lyft, like their trips have increased by 80%, and Uber has let go of over 10,000 employees nationwide. Lyft's let go of over 30% of their company. We can onboard those people within these different markets, and then they already have.
You have to have the demand though on the other side of people transacting, and that's the hardest part.
Yeah, because like with Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp, LetGo, Nextdoor, none of them have a safe, secure way to transact these items currently.
But listen, I think you need to be thoughtful. They can add that layer.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what, right? And so like, I don't want you to get caught up on what's in your interest. You know, you need to be caught up in what the reality of the situation is. That's how you then can navigate.
True.
That's how you win, you know?
Yeah. So,
anything else I can answer for you before I bounce here? Because I got a client in 2 minutes.
Yeah. So with everything, have you downloaded Deliverin yet?
I haven't, but you know what? I promise you I will, but I need you to hit up the admins,
Okay.
Lou or Alex that you talk to, so they make sure I deliver on my word.
Okay. Yeah, definitely will.
And I'll play with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's something that it's an interesting thing for me, for sure. Like delivery infrastructure is not just for food.
Yeah, that's true. That's
period.
True.
And it goes beyond even flip life. It goes into picking up elderly, picking up kids. Like there's a million. I mean, I remember when Uber hit hard, I was like, oh, damn. Like the family, like car service, you know, like carpool. I remember I had this idea, I called it carpool in my head of like truly secure. Like, you know, my parents wish they could have a car service pick up their kids, 7-year-olds, and feel truly secure. Like, what's that service? So there's a million things, you know, like just the last mile thing is like, like a lot of people really would like, you know, they just want an Xbox right now, and they're willing to play that big, but they don't want to spend 25 minutes. Or there's so much yet to come. People don't get it. We're just early.
Yeah, we are. And I don't know, it's going to take a little bit of time to like work on their psyche and just like pivot that, because so many people are used to the metrics of meeting in person and like exchanging goods and cash in person, to the point where like once they hear about delivering, they're like, is this thing real? Like we've literally had people say like,
you're small right now. Like people, you know, people are always going to think things are not real when it's small.
yeah, that's true.
And it's new. Uber people debated if it was real. I was friends with those guys when they launched it. You know, Twitter was fake to people. Like, so I'm old enough now with these grays to watch all these things go through. That's not a discouragement point. Making sure that you're not just a feature, that is.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Got you.
Oh yeah.
All right, fellas. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you. I'll see you.
Bye-bye.